On behalf of the faculty, staff, administrators, and especially our graduating class of students, I'd like to welcome you to the College of Science Fall 2015 Pre-Commencement Ceremony. Thank you for taking the time this evening to be with us. Graduation Day is always an exciting time for our students and their families, as well as the UTEP community. This year is no different, as we have seen many transformations across the campus that demonstrate the access and excellence speech you hear so much about. In our education that we try to provide our students has been, I think, an incredible milestone that we've achieved over these past 100 years, and we continue to move forward with that same type of excellence. Of course, all of you on the campus have been able to visualize the many changes in the new buildings, the construction, the Centennial Plaza, the new buildings, and especially for those students who've seen state-of-the-art facilities and laboratories. We are proud here at UTEP and the College of Science to provide strong and relevant educational opportunities for the people of El Paso and the Ciudad Juarez region. As we enter our next 100 years, we know that we are prepared to compete in a global market, especially in the areas of mathematics and science. And we are committed to providing the best preparation for students who will do great things in their careers and serve as ambassadors of our institution and to the community. From our days as Texas State School of Mines and Metallurgy, Texas Western College, and finally as the University of Texas at El Paso, our many accomplishments have resulted from the shared contributions of many individuals and groups of those of you that are here today. Because of that, we are honored that you have chosen to join us tonight and celebrating yet another year in our storied chapter. Most importantly, we are so very proud to support and recognize you, our students, alumni, and friends. Before we begin this evening's festivities, I'd like to introduce you to the members of the stage party. I will ask them to stand as they are introduced, and I'll ask you to hold your applause until they have all been introduced. Associate Dean for Student Success and Director of the Forensic Science Program, Dr. Nancy Marcus. Associate Dean for Faculty Mentoring and Development, Dr. Kristen Gosling. Associate Dean for Research, Dr. Michael Kenny. Chair of the Department of Biological Sciences, Dr. Bruce Cushing. Chair of the Department of Chemistry, Dr. Jorge Gardea Torresday. Chair of the Department of Geological Sciences, Dr. James Kubicki. Chair of the Department of Mathematical Sciences, Dr. Maria Cristina Mariani. The Chair of the Department of Physics, Dr. Christian Botez. Director of the Bioinformatics and Computational Science Programs, Dr. Mingying Leung. And Director of the Masters of Arts and Teaching Program, Dr. Kyung Han. Please, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. I'd also like to recognize the many outstanding professional staff and student assistants that help with tonight's event and for all they contribute to our day-to-day operations and support of our faculty and students. I would like to ask you, for all of you, to please rise, stand, accept our sincere thanks. For those of you that are here, can you please stand and rise? Thank you. Outstanding faculty are the heart of all great universities, and one of UTEP's highest priorities has been the recruitment, development, and retention of top quality faculty whose excellence in both research and teaching serves as a powerful inspiration to our students. They are the ones that create and provide the access and excellence. Over the past several years, the College of Science has observed just tremendous growth in enrollment and research grant success. And it's because of them that this is true. It has been my pleasure to work with and to support them in their tireless efforts. Therefore, I'd like to take this moment to pay special tribute to our outstanding faculty who have served as mentors to the many graduates that you will see come upon this stage this evening. Their dedication in nurturing and supporting the talents of our students is reflected in the successes we celebrate this evening. Each graduate will leave here with his or her own special story about a professor or a member of our staff who has inspired and influenced them to promote themselves and to help them attain success, not only in college and their career, but in their personal ways or personal life as well. So please join me in asking our faculty to stand and receive our acknowledgement and appreciation. Faculty, please rise. One way in which we support our faculty so that they can better serve our students is to award them with an endowment that is derived from a generous donor. This evening, we break with tradition a little bit to acknowledge one of those donors that have been very supportive of the university as a whole, and especially the College of Science. This donor, what I would like to bring to the stage is Mr. Ralph Ponce de Leon. And I'd like to also ask Dr. Juan Novaron to come to the stage as well. So just a few words about Ralph Ponce de Leon. He's a graduate of the class of 1960. He graduated with a degree in chemistry. From then, our university was named Texas Western College. And I had an opportunity I've met and spoke with Ralph many times before, but actually today we talked about some of his time here at the university. And when he was here at UTEP, he told me that it was a whopping $25 per semester to attain to. But he told me that by the time you added up the books and the lab fees, it was closer to $100 per semester. So even then, things were very tough, apparently. Overall, Ralph has had a wonderful career. After graduating from UTEP in 1960, he went on to the Motorola Corporation, where he worked for the next 31 years. He was one of the top executives in the company and providing strong leadership to that group. He would later say, not too bad for an analytical chemist, but Ralph has been so much more than that. He's a great communicator, he's an interesting person, he's somebody that's given back in so many ways to the university, but all the while I think has also enjoyed life. He's traveled the world, and as we learned, for those of you that attended the ceremony this evening, or this morning, you heard that actually Ralph was born on a train traveling through Mexico at the time, so he hasn't stopped traveling ever since then. In 2003, Ralph was selected as the Distinguished UTEP Alumnus, and what I think has been very special about him is that he's not only donated his money, but more importantly, he's donated his time to the college. Ralph has served on the College of Science Advisory Board and has really helped the college to shape our future and direction. And he's been a great resource for all of us. He's truly a man with a big heart for this university. Ralph and his wife Kathleen, who wasn't able to be here this evening, have been tremendous supporters throughout. And this past year they created the Ralph and Kathleen Ponce de Leon Professorship in Chemistry with another gift of $100,000 to help support faculty and ultimately help support students in our program. And this year, we're very pleased to announce that our inaugural recipient this year is Dr. Juan Novaron from the Department of Chemistry, Associate Professor in the Department of Chemistry. And I think for us, we very much appreciate and value what Ralph and Kathleen has brought to the university. We're proud that Dr. Novaron is this year's recipient, so please help me in congratulating both of them this evening. Thank you. Take a photo. faculty and our supporters like Mr. and Mrs. Ponce de Leon we are very happy to recognize a new generation of scientists and educators that will go forth in this world and do great things. They have received the knowledge and the skills to succeed in the global market, and their degrees will help them open and walk through doors of opportunity. As all of you are hopefully aware, and in case somehow you happen to miss it by the billboard signs and all the pamphlets and flyers here, UTEP has also been selected as another top 10 university by Washington Monthly magazine. I'd like to congratulate all of you on this accomplishment. And of course, UTEP still ranks #1 in fostering social mobility. And I think this is a tremendous affirmation of our mission and a great recognition of our success in achieving both affordability and high-quality education. For those of you that are graduating this evening, this means that your UTEP degree continues to go up in value, and this is why the country is taking notice of this school here on the border. Achieving these goals requires a deep commitment by all, including you, your families, the UTEP faculty and staff, and we have acknowledged here tonight, so please wear your minor picks proudly. This evening is very special because we will be honoring 142 students who are candidates for the baccalaureate degree, 27 candidates for the master's degree, and 7 candidates for the doctoral degree. Tonight we celebrate the accomplishments of these students, but we must also recognize those that have helped them in their pursuit of this important achievement. The parents, the grandparents, the spouses, partners, children, and friends and family that have encouraged, supported, and sometimes made great sacrifices in order for them to achieve this goal. I ask you all, the families, friends of our graduates, to please stand and accept our acknowledgement for all that you've done to make this day possible for them. Family members, everybody. Thank you. We're now pleased to honor our graduates. It's customary for our PhD candidates to be hooded at the university commencement that will take place this Saturday at 7 p.m. at the Don Haskins Center. But this evening, faculty mentors will be able to introduce and tell you briefly a little bit about their student, and they will provide some brief insight on what the student has meant to them. Will the faculty and mentors of the PhD candidates please form a line on your left side of the stadium, or the podium? Stadium, no. Would the first PhD candidate please come forward? Somebody's got her card up there?
Should I do one first?
Yeah, just do one first. Okay. Our first candidate is Danisha Marie Rivera Nazario. Her PhD is in chemistry with the mentor, Dr. Luis Echegoyen.
Right. As you can see, we have this very well orchestrated. I had no idea that I had to be first, so I'll set the tone for this. It's a real pleasure for me to introduce you Danisha Rivera. She's originally from Puerto Rico. She got her degrees in San Juan, started at University of Puerto Rico in Bayamón, but then she moved to Rio Piedras where she got a BS degree. I was very lucky to have her 2 summers in my research laboratories at Clemson University, where she was amazingly productive. I was even more lucky because she decided to join me here in 2010 when I started at this university. I can tell you 750 super good things about Danisha. I'm just going to tell you 2 or 3. She has managed to publish 5 articles during her time in my laboratory, and she has skills that range from extreme leadership. She can run the group. She has supervised many, many undergraduates fantastically well, and has led them to fantastic things. Actually, another one of the recipients of an undergraduate award is her mentee. So Danisha is fantastic, has done absolutely spectacular work. So I am very happy to introduce her to you. Danisha.
Next PhD candidate is Mayra Raquel Cerrón Hernandez, PhD in chemistry, and again her mentor, Dr. Luis Echegoyen.
So I'm now getting the hang of this. It's really a double pleasure to introduce Mayra Cerrón for 2 reasons. One, she's actually shorter than me, as opposed to Danisha. And seriously speaking, she's originally from Colombia. She got her BS degree in chemistry at Universidad del Valle in Cali, Colombia, doing mainly analytical chemistry. And we met in Cartagena at a conference, and we decided at that point that she was going to join me here. So she joined me immediately after I arrived here in 2011. Has managed to do absolutely beautiful work. Since you guys are not all chemists, I'm not going to bother you with the details. But she has published now 13 publications, some in some of the best journals in chemistry in the world. And she's one of those students who gets her mind into something and she carries it all the way to fruition very, very efficiently. So she's smart, she's resourceful, she's a fantastic student. So my pleasure to introduce you, Mayra.
Next PhD candidate is Leonardo Octavio Lerma. His PhD is in computational science. Mentor, Dr. Vlade Krenovic. And this evening, speaking on her behalf, is Dr. Deanna Pennington.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Octavio Lerma to you. Dr. Lerma came to us in 2010. He was a high school science teacher at Coronado High, where he continues to teach and has taught full-time while he worked on his master's and then his PhD. Do we have any Coronado students out there? Yay! All right. So Octavio started out with one of the Masters in Education programs, the MAST program, and they supported him initially before he transferred over into the computational science program. And in that program, he chose Vlade Krenovic as his mentor, and they recruited me to be on board with them in this endeavor. So Octavio, as a teacher, has always been very interested in learning and education. And so he was really interested in trying to find something he could do that was relevant to that. And so with some effort, we put together a series of mathematical studies that he did on knowledge, all sorts of things about knowledge acquisition, knowledge propagation, how you process data in order to acquire knowledge. And it ended up being really quite an interesting, fascinating set of studies. But by far, the highlight of his work was work he just did in the last year with 2-time Pulitzer Prize winner Paul Salovek. Paul Salovek is currently walking by foot, following the path out of Africa, of our ancestors, and he's reporting the people he encounters on the route. And as part of that, he posts journalistic things on the web, and people comment and talk about the things that he's posting. And so for this particular study, we asked the question, how does knowledge disseminate through online social media? And so he used the data from Paul Salovek's study to create a mathematical model of that, and found out that indeed, although there are many models of knowledge propagation, his model fits better than any of them. So that was quite a pleasure and quite exciting to work with a Pulitzer Prize winner on that project. Octavio has 20 publications, peer-reviewed. He's been quite prolific, as his advisor is as well. And he won the College of Science Award for Best Master's Thesis, and he was nominated for Best Dissertation. And he also won an award, Best Paper Award, at a recent conference. So he has really generated quite good results, interesting models that have captured a lot of interest by a number of groups, including those in national defense. So he has an internship lined up in national defense pending security clearances, but then this morning he got a new offer from somebody in industry that he has to decide on by 7 a.m. So quite an interesting day for Octavio, and I'm really pleased to have been working with him and happy to introduce him to you and let you know a little bit about his fascinating work. Thank you.
Our next PhD candidate, Azucena Zamora, PhD in Computational Science. Major professor is Dr. Aaron Velasco.
Es un placer para presentar Dr. Azucena Zamora. It's a pleasure to introduce Dr. Azucena Zamora. Earning a PhD is a journey, as we both well know. Lots of trials and tribulations, but in the end, as I've always told you, and I truly believe, the award is a future with no bounds, and I think you exemplify this. I have been her mentor for quite some time. Working with her has been a true pleasure. When she came into my group, she was already a computational science student, and I quickly learned she was an exceptional student. Every class that she took for me, she was the top student. She later joined a program called GK12, of which I'm the PI, and a program where she was assigned as a scientist in residence at an early college high school. Now you have to realize her ambition was to not teach. And in fact, I think teaching was very feel for, she was very feel for teaching. Well, her teaching and communication skills just blossomed, and as evidence of that, she won numerous awards at major conferences for her student presentations. The GK12 opportunity also opened eyes to other possibilities for her career. In fact, she embraced teaching in the program so much that she ran our summer workshop for us one summer. What impresses me most about her and her work is that she's been able to become a leader in interdisciplinary science, and I mean that in a true way. Many of us talk about interdisciplinary science, but when you actually try to do that, it's very, very difficult. She has been the bridge between the geophysical community and modeling and computational science community. In particular, she's designed a very powerful constrained optimization approach that will really transform our field. I have strong confidence in that. So congratulations to her, her family, and all those that have supported her over the years, especially her son. She's an incredible person and an outstanding scientist. So felicidades, Dr. Zamora.
The next PhD candidate is Kevin Wesley Floyd, His PhD is in environmental science and engineering, and his mentor is Dr. Jorge Gardea and Dr. Walsh.
Buenas noches, buenas tardes. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Kevin Floyd. Kevin is from the great state and beautiful state of California. He got his bachelor's and master's at UC Davis and came to UTEP several years ago. And he joined Dr. Elizabeth Walsh and my group, and he has been one of the probably best pleasures I have had while I've been at UTEP. And I like to do joint work with other people, and he's an example of that. So his general topic was the impact of rust on lizards. And I can tell you that his dissertation work was so difficult that he had to spend almost 5 years sampling lizards in the desert and study the genetic effects and effects of heavy metals and many, many things that, I mean, only people like Kevin could do. And even though Kevin is not trained as a chemist, I can tell you that probably he's one of the best environmental chemists that is coming out from my group. I keep telling Kevin that he should go to work for the government, but he's a great teacher. And I like to say that he's one of the most difficult, has one of the most difficult jobs, because his wife is the vet of El Paso Zoo. So he has to move to an area where there is a zoo because of his wife. Therefore, he decided to stay at UTEP. So he's a professor in biology now, and I hope, Bruce, you're going to hire him as a tenure-track professor. So, Kevin, I'm going to do what my life mentor, Dr. William Glaze, did to me, the advice he gave me when I was at UCLA. Professor Glaze told me that you have to believe in what you do, because everybody else is going to tell you that what you do is wrong. And you are so gifted that you can go anywhere. So believe in what you do. Congratulations, Doctor.
Next PhD candidate is Roberto Perea, PhD in environmental science and engineering, with his major professor, Dr. Rosa Fitzgerald.
I'm both happy and proud to present to you Dr. Roberto Perea. Dr. Perea will already be known to many of you since for several years he has been a key member of UTEP's information technology. At the time Dr. Perea joined my research group, he had already obtained a master's degree in electrical engineering here at UTEP. His background and full-time employment at UTEP brought two significant advantages to his research in environmental science and towards his doctorate. First, Roberto was already familiar with his scientific discipline and extremely knowledgeable with computers. Second, and very importantly, he understood the need for timelines and reports deadlines, and extremely very good at work ethics, which made my life easier. So these two attributes made working with Roberto Perea a pleasant and valuable experience. He's very gifted, and you have full confidence he will be very successful in his promising career.
Next PhD candidate, Christina D'Arcy, PhD in Biological Sciences, with her major professor, Dr. Kristen Gosling.
Good evening, everyone. I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Chris D'Arcy, who is actually a minor squared. She got her undergraduate degree here and then stayed on for a PhD, much to my benefit. Her field is neuroscience, and specifically looking at the neuroscience of addiction. And she's done some really heroic work on behavioral aspects of addiction, looking at stress as a pre-exposing condition to drug-taking behavior. Probably the most patients she's shown is with me as a mentor. But secondly, she had done lots of behavioral experiments in the Department of Psychology, forming a huge bridge between our faculty in biology and psychology. But she was doing all of her behavioral work while we had our beautiful Centennial Plaza being created. And so in the face of all the jackhammering and heavy equipment, she was trying to do some pretty fine studies. And so she's come through with some pretty nice data, even though fighting that kind of a battle. So I'm super proud of what she's been able to achieve. She's now serving as a postdoctoral teaching fellow for the PERSIST program in joint with the BUILD program, so working with early undergraduate students in science education. I'd also like to thank her husband for supporting our lab and serving as another voice of reason. I've often said that if I disappeared from the lab, they'd never even know, because Chris really ran it the whole time she was with us. So I'm very pleased to welcome her into the fold, and congratulations.
Is there any additional doctoral candidates to be considered for this evening or acknowledged? So maybe we'll just give one more round of applause for those doctoral candidates. Thank you. So now we are pleased to recognize the student candidates for the Master of Science degree, who will be hooded by their major professors. Will their candidates and the faculty members please form the line, and then, well, you've already formed the line, so just come to the stage, please. I would like to ask Associate Dean for Research, Dr. Kenny, to join me at the podium for reading of the names.
Is she going to join? Good evening. The first master's candidate this evening is Janet Rodriguez, Master of Science in Bioinformatics, and her mentor is Dr. Mingling Liang. The next master's candidate is Kishore Reddy Anakala, Master of Science in Bioinformatics, mentor Dr. Mingling Liang. Next master's candidate is Joseph Andrew Kanapika, Master of Science in Bioinformatics, mentor Dr. Mingling Liang. Our next master's candidate, Leobardo Valera, Master of Science in Computational Science, mentor, Dr. Mingling Leong. Our next master's candidate, Christina Isabel Barone, Master of Science in Biological Sciences, mentor, Dr. Kristen Gotzelink. Next master candidate, Natalie Mehta, Master of Science in Chemistry, mentor, Dr. Dino Villagran. Next, master's candidate, Karen Ventura, Master of Science in Chemistry, mentor, Dr. Dino Villagran. Our next master's candidate, Colin Gray, Master of Science in Geological Sciences. His mentors, Catherine Giles. Next master's candidate, Jacqueline Marie Engel, Master of Science in Geological Sciences. Mentor, Dr. Lynn Ma. Next candidate, Mario Alejandro Guzman, Master of Arts in Teaching Mathematics. Mentor, Dr. Kian Lim. Our next candidate, Susana Villena Gonzalez, Master of Arts in Teaching Mathematics, mentor, Dr. Kian Lee. Our next candidate, Susanna Mochizuki Jackson, Master of Arts in Teaching Mathematics, mentor, Dr. Kian Lee. Our next candidate, Alejandro Agustin Galvin, Master of Arts in Teaching Mathematics, mentor Dr. Kian Lee. Next candidate, Shuni Day, Master of Science in Mathematics, her mentor, Dr. Sun Lung Yi. Next candidate, William Davis Berman, Master of Science in Physics. His mentor, Dr. Mickey Manchu.
I think it's Here's your glass. Let's give another round of applause to our master's students, graduates. We will now recognize candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree. The undergraduates are already lining up. I would ask that Dr. Gosling please join me at the podium for reading of the names. Graduates, if you've not received an index card, make sure you see Margie Gutierrez before you come up onto the stage. Honored undergraduates are recognized for their academic achievement with cords reflecting their grade point average. Students graduating cum laude 3.5 GPA will receive yellow cords for honors. Students graduating magna cum laude 3.8 GPA will receive white cords for high honors. Students graduating summa cum laude 3.9 GPA will receive the gold cords as a symbol of the highest honors. I would like to mention that this year has been a great year for this class. 32 students of our 142 graduates are graduating with honors. This is really an amazing accomplishment.
Richard R. Gutierrez. Joshua John Rincon, cum laude. Cynthia Maritza Hernandez. Nicholas Daniel Silva. Adriana De Moss. Valeria Yvette Rivas, cum laude. Brian Ivan Grajeda. Alyssa Francis Salcido, magna cum laude. Annette Mary Castellano, cum laude. Jocelyn Rebecca De Leon. Lisa Jacqueline Valles. Walija Rashid, cum laude, honors degree. Dana C. Chacon, cum laude. Isha Alina Ahmad, cum laude. Jonathan Antonio Huerta, cum laude. Yahaira Perez. Ruben Angel Melendez. Caitlin Nicole Alvarez McDonald. Jennifer Grace Dixon. Daniel Schacht. William Robert Barber. Ben Marcelo Villalobos. Debbie Hippolito. Claudia Dominguez. Lois Mendez, cum laude. Olivia Isabel Collins, honors degree. Benjamin P. Deutsch. David Alejandro Ramirez, cum laude. Cesar Bravo. Aaron Saldivar Duchesne, summa cum laude. Janelli Villalobos, cum laude. Andy Sergio Gutierrez. Vanessa Ponce. Alexander Rene Olguin. Amy Jeanette Arieta, magna cum laude. Carlos Humberto Murillo. Andrea Ouchley. Eduardo Galindo, magna cum laude. William Gerardo Vasquez. Valerie Favela, cum laude. Stephanie Navarez, cum laude. Juan Manuel Villalba, summa cum laude and College of Science banner bearer. Luis Ivan Prieto, cum laude. Armando Ivan Lerma Fuentes. Jacobo Catalan, cum laude. Juan Carlos Lopez. Grace D. Chavez. Elizabeth A. Para, cum laude. Sarah Nicole Payan. Sue Ellen Huffman, summa cum laude, Mast Academy Scholar and College of Science Undergraduate Marshal of Students. Alexandra Duarte Duran, Mast Academy Scholar. Claudia Liliana Torres Rincon, Mast Academy Scholar. Jorge Romero, Mast Academy Scholar. Manuel Michael Lazos. Mayra Alejandra Medina. Giovanna E. Grimaldo, cum laude, honors certificate and honors senior thesis. Renata Lynn Duvall. Jesus Brian Garcia. Paulina Eileen Quiñones. Veronica Escalante, magna cum laude. Irving Martinez, magna cum laude. Are there any candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree whose name I did not call? Thank you.
Congratulations once again to all of our graduates. In recognition of teaching excellence by our faculty, the graduating students this year have been asked to identify their choice of the top educators in the college. The Graduate Student Award for Outstanding Teaching was a very difficult selection this year, But this year was slightly different than years past. We've awarded it to the entire Department of Geological Sciences. Congratulations. Dr. Kavicki, can you join me at the stage, please? The Undergraduate Student Choice Awards for Outstanding Teacher in the Biological Sciences is awarded to Christine Garza. Congratulations, Christine.
You go first.
Okay, we'll go up here. We'll
Okay, both of us, opening her?
From the Department of Chemistry, Dr. River Xiao. River.
So I guess he's gonna need a right. He got a
Yeah,
card, right?
exactly. Congratulations. We'll take our picture right here.
You need a right. Because you got it.
From the Department of Geological Sciences, Dr. Laura Serpa. I'm going to stand out here. And from Mathematical Sciences is Dr. Helmut Nost, who unfortunately couldn't be with us here this evening, but let's give him a round of applause nonetheless. And from the Department of Physics, Dr. Christian Botez. And the recipient for the College of Science Award is Dr. Herman Rosa-Sacosta from the Department of Biological Sciences. And now I'd like to present the award for Best Thesis and Best Dissertation. Please, students, please come to the podium to receive your award, along with your mentor. So the best dissertation for the College of Science for this year is Myra Cerrone, Major Professor, Dr. Luis Echegoyen. And best thesis within the Department of Biological Sciences is Berenice DeHiro, with her Research Mentoring Award going to her major professor, Dr. Arshad Khan. We will now have the presentation of the departmental awards to outstanding students that were presented to them by their chairs of their respective departments. I'd like to call the Chair of Biological Sciences, Dr. Bruce Cushing, to the podium.
So it is my great honor to be able to do this and to stand here tonight. And we start with the graduate awards. So Berenice, you have to walk back up here. As an outstanding graduate, Berenice DeHiro from Biological Sciences, it is my great pleasure to give you this award. And now we have awards for outstanding undergraduates in research and academics, and it is my great pleasure to do this because we have almost 1,600 majors, a quarter of which make the dean's list every semester. So the students that rise to this level are truly amazing students and really represent the quality of UTEP. Renata DeVoe, please. And her area is academic and research excellence in microbiology. In the area of biology and biomedical sciences, Giovanna Giamaldo, please come forward. So we have a long applause because she has a long walk up here. Take your time. Enjoy it. Congratulations. And finally, in the area of cellular and molecular biochemistry, Veronica Escalante, please come forward.
Awards presented from the Department of Chemistry is Dr. Jorge Gardea Torres Day.
On behalf of the Chemistry Department, it is my great honor to present the Academic and Research Excellence Undergraduate in Chemistry Award to Paulina Quiñones. I'd like to say quickly that she's trying to get to a PhD program in chemistry, either at UT Austin or Texas A&M. I'd like to say that this year, to give the award to the best graduate student, it was very difficult. And I like to say that I didn't pick it, the committee in the chemistry department did. So on behalf of the chemistry department, it is my great honor to present the Academic and Research Excellent Graduate Student in Chemistry Award to Danisha Rivera Nazario. I am so proud to let you know that Danisha is going to work for the CDC in Atlanta, Georgia. So we are very, very happy about it. And lastly, it is my great honor to present the Academic and Research Excellent Undergraduate Student in Biochemistry Award to Jesus Brian Garcia. Brian is going to go into the medical field, especially trying to focus in cancer and diabetes. We wish him the best.
Departmental awards for the Department of Geological and Environmental Sciences, Dr. James Kubicki.
We have so many great students in geological sciences, but this year we had a hands-down favorite, so it's a great honor for me to present this year's Outstanding Graduate Student Award to Colin Gray. Colin. And this year's award for Outstanding Graduating Senior in Environmental Science, which is an interdisciplinary program, so this is a very competitive award, goes to Elizabeth Para. Elizabeth? I guess.
And from Mathematical Sciences, the chair, Dr. Mariani.
good evening, buenas noches. I am very happy and proud to introduce the outstanding graduates from our department. The academic and research excellence undergraduate student in mathematics go to Edmundo Antonio Silva. And the academic and research excellence for a graduate student in MITM Mathematics goes to Mario Guzman.
From the Department of Physics, Chair Dr. Christian Botes.
Good evening. On behalf of the Physics Department, it is a great pleasure to present the award for academic research and excellence for a graduate student in physics to William Berman. It is also my great pleasure to present the award for academic and research excellence for an undergraduate student in physics to Irving Martinez.
And from bioinformatics and computational science, I'd like to bring Dr. Mingying Liu to the podium.
It's my great pleasure to present the Academic and Research Excellence Award in Bioinformatics to Joseph Napka. It's also my great pleasure to present the Academic and Research Excellence Award in Computational Science to Leobardo Valera.
Congratulations to all the award recipients. This concludes our program. Please remember that the university commencement ceremony will be held this Saturday at 7 p.m. at the Don Haskins Center. Students should assemble at the Memorial Gym by 5:30 p.m. Again, congratulations to all of our graduates. Thank you for coming. Have a great night.